This is the Barn Theatre in Oxted, and this is the venue for the British Film Collectors Convention on Saturday 30th of May 2026. This will be the 67th BFCC and in fact the 50th anniversary, as the first ever convention was held at Holborn Library in central London in January 1976. We haven't held a BFCC since 2023, but even though the venue for that event was not entirely ideal, we did have all the usual ingredients. Film dealers throughout, the big 24-foot wide CinemaScope screen, and film shows on multiple gauges, plus 4K video projection. We plan to include the same attractions and more at the Barn Theatre, and so even if you're not a real film collector, but you have an interest in film and how it compares and is different to 4K digital home video projection, this will be the event to come to. It's a beautiful venue and entirely suitable to commemorate 50 years since Paul Van Summeren and Stephen Herbert organised that first event. Sadly, Paul Van Summeren died in 1981, which left Stephen Herbert to step up for that year's event, after which Keith Wilton took the helm and was still in post for the 66th BFCC in April 2023. And then, 5 months after that last event, we received the shock news that Stephen Herbert had died. I believe he was just 71 or 72 years of age. The last time Stephen joined us was in 2016, when he was a guest along with Mike Smith. Mike was also involved with the first event, and so maybe we'll see Mike again in 2026 in Oxted. Dave Locke was also involved with the BFCC for many years, and from the first event he was the lead projectionist. And I did cajole Dave back into his previous long-running role as projectionist at the 66th convention, so you never get away once you've been collared for a BFCC. I joined the team relatively late, and that was in 1993. That was when Keith was holding the conventions at the Top Hat Club, which was the former Northfields Odeon Cinema. It was an amazing, incredible venue for a film collector convention. Keith and I hit it off immediately, and as a result of constantly bouncing crazy ideas off one another, at one event we built a 34-foot wide scope screen out of thick paper and projected Super 8 onto it. Now that's got to have been some sort of a record. But what an auditorium! It still survives today as a church. There had been a multitude of venues before this. Movie Maker magazine got involved for the 1979 and 1980 events, and the Rembrandt Hotel in Knightsbridge was the impressive venue selected for both of those. Then it was back to the Holborn Library before a move a few hundred yards west to the Conway Hall in Red Lion Square. After a few years there, during which time the BFCC became a twice-yearly event, even better facilities were sought, and hence the move to the Waterman's Art Centre in Brentford, West London. Dave Prowse was a special guest here for the premiere screening of Duran's Star Wars Super 8 scope feature release, and that was on May the 6th, 1989. What a shame it wasn't May the 4th. It was 1991 when Keith took the conventions to the Top Hat Club, and it was here that the BBC Elstree Concert Band were added to the programme to give us film music concerts during the lunch break. But then this historic chapter in the BFCC story came to an abrupt end when we were only given 4 weeks' notice by the Top Hat Club that they were cancelling our booking for 28th of October 1995, and that resulted in a quick change of venue to the Ealing Town Hall, and here we stayed for many years. We introduced many innovations at the Ealing Town Hall, such as Super 8 with THX and Dolby Digital Sound, and it's here too where Ben Wales got involved, and I'm sure many of us have never forgotten his special presentations, one of which being an extract from Lawrence of Arabia in 70mm. Oh, how we'd all love to be able to do that again one day. There have been other venues, but throughout we've kept our enthusiasm and ambition to keep the film collecting home cinema hobby alive. Hopefully our new stylish venue will ensure we continue in the same vein, and perhaps will also encourage a few new potential film collectors to come along and join in. I also hope we'll renew the interest for a few long-term film collectors whose interest may have waned in recent years. It's some years ago now, but Keith Wilton produced this documentary series, The Men Behind the Movies, and in these he tells the history of the film collecting hobby and includes the history of the British Film Collectors Conventions. Quite a history, but there's much archive film of the BFCCs in these videos, and I've used some of that archive film with permission in the making of this video, but others have also contributed. Stuart Hilliker, Doug Meltzer and Stuart Fivey besides myself, so please forgive me if I've forgotten to list anyone there. It's been quite an adventure being involved in the BFCC all these years, not as many years as some out there, but we've got a new team now. Some of the old faces are there. I think it's a very good team and we're all rather excited with this swish new venue we've got, the Barn Theatre, Oxted. So hopefully I'll see a few of you there next year. Put the date in your diary, 30th of May, that's Saturday 30th of May 2026, and keep an eye on www.bfcc.biz, that's B-I-Z, for further updates to the next event page of bfcc.biz. Hopefully by the time this video is out I've got the first set of updates done, and perhaps this video will also be embedded there to give it that extra bit of promotional push. So this is the future of the film collecting hobby, I hope, going forward with the BFCC, and it's being done with a collaboration again of the chaps who do the Blackpool Film Collectors Convention. So maybe we'll get David Tatham a big screen time involved too, so the whole team all across the UK, or all across Britain I should say, will be involved in bringing you this stylish new BFCC in Oxted in 2026. Right, I think that brings us to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, perhaps subscribe if you haven't already, and until the next one, bye bye for now.